And then, even worse, Fez's best friend, Billy Staples. Which, remember, we booked him back because he was going to make some big announcement about his career on November 14th or whatever.
Yeah, it's big news.
What's today? It's the 15th, right?
Yes.
Day late, dollar short. Here comes Billy Staples.
Glad to be here, Ronnie.
Oh, jeez.
No, it really is. It's under bad circumstances, but I'm glad to be here.
Billy, I'm going to point this out. Fez isn't here, okay? So you're not going to get away with all the stuff that he lets you get away with.
I actually thought you and I were the close friends.
He is your enabler. You know it, and I know it. He's propped you up for years. You may be part of the reason why he had a heart attack.
That's not fair. I never poured a drink or anything down that man's throat that he didn't want.
Let me guess. All right, so you came in here to make an announcement today.
Yes.
All right, let me guess what it is right away.
Sure.
New white chip. Is that where we're at? Day one? You come in with those day one chips, and we're supposed to light a cake for you and have a parade?
No,
I can't put up with it, Billy.
No, Ronnie, it's actually a little bit bigger than that.
All right, before I get into it, Earl, send the word to Poe on it's getting hot in here when I yell that out, and I want him out. And not only do I, when I yell it, I also want him kicked. All right, go ahead, Billy.
Yes.
First of all, don't listen when I'm talking to Earl. Take your headphones off.
Oh, okay.
Take your headphones off for a second. Earl kicked in the face. That's what I want to happen to him.
Done.
Okay. Headphones back on, Billy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had a big announcement. I know the last big announcement was you were in a video, right?
Yes.
You were in a big music video.
I was in the Incubus talk shows on mute when I was out in L.A.
How did that song end up doing?
The song ended up doing very well. It was number one on MTV2, MTV.
Was it number
Fuse.
one with a bullet?
Yeah, it started out on Billboard in the top 10.
Right.
So it was a huge hit. I got a lot of airplay.
I heard this, that it was shipped gold and came back platinum. How does that even happen? How could they return more than they shipped?
Nah, that's just a rumor started by jealousy.
Did you sing at all during this thing?
Oh, no, I just made the opening announcement.
Yeah, and then you went off Broadway, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the next big thing for you.
I did a play over in Long Island City,
right?
Where I played a Long Island gangster.
Uh-huh. And were you up for a Queenie Award? Some of the best that goes on. Is this the big hit, Billy's Queen? Oh, this is Incubus?
Yeah, this is Talk Shows on Mute.
All right, do your part, Billy.
Okay, all you animals out there, let's get ready for the band you've all been waiting for. Hey, you are cats and kitties, it's Incubus!
Now, does anybody recognize you from that?
Oh, yeah, from the end? Yeah, because I'm myself at the end.
But was it big with the kids? Did the kids love it?
Oh, without a doubt. I still have the hyena feet and the teeth at home, and I break them out with the little kids and the young teenagers.
Yeah.
They love it. Love it.
All right, what's the name of this song?
Talk Shows on Mute.
How can you hear it?
Well, see, it was written by Brandon when he was on an airplane.
Yeah.
And he couldn't hear the talk show.
Now, you say Brandon as if I know who he is, as if I'm reading Tiger Beat.
Well, Brandon and I, we talked a lot during the set. He's the lead singer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just watching a talk show on an airplane, and he couldn't hear it, and he thought it was actually funnier to make up the dialogue.
You know what I want to get is Billy Staples on mute. How am I able to do that? Where I can see you talking, but I can't hear anything.
Never gonna happen.
Earl, I'm just saying this. It's getting warmer, and I'll leave it at that. All right, so you came in here for another announcement. By the way, from what I hear from people, you're putting the radio resume out there.
That's very true. The broadcasting agent has been sending it out, accepting feelers, and we're waiting to see what happens.
Any feelers yet?
Yeah, there's been a couple.
I would say this to him, from what I hear, and this is the thing I'm getting. When you send out the resume, don't use old-fashioned whiteout on it.
That was his fault.
Yeah.
I blame my agent for that because I gave him like about 20 of them, and he used the wrong one.
And they have whiteout on it?
Well, yeah, I have many different agents.
Right.
I have many different agents that I work for, and only a certain amount of pictures left with my thinner self. So.
All right, so let's take a guess what exactly you're going to be doing today. Earl, what do you think he's going to introduce? That he's got a gig now with the Black Rock Coalition?
No.
This Saturday night?
Let's not even get into that.
Yo, Earl, come on, man.
But honestly, I think he'll have maybe he's got a gig lined up. Maybe.
You got a gig lined up? Is that it?
I'll withhold comment until I make my announcement.
All right, Billy Staples, of course, is in with us today. He was the producer for us when we were at WNEW in New York. Good buddy of ours. He's had so many breakdowns on the show that, and any time that he would fall off the wagon, just radio gold. Don't like you so much when you're sober. When you're drinking and everybody's calling me at home going, "Is Billy dead? There was a body found. Do you think it's Billy?" That's the kind of stuff that I miss, Billy.
Yeah, I actually miss it too, Ronnie.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I miss drinking terribly.
Yeah, well, drinking misses you like an old lover. And speaking of which, when you run into your troubles, and I was talking about this with Fez, isn't it true that the people that are really there for you are family?
Oh, without a doubt.
Isn't it funny how that happens?
I mean, who bails you out of jail?
Yeah.
Did your friends come?
No.
It was the family who gathered up all the money
Right.
to get me out.
And I was thinking that with all the friends who call and go, anything at all, anything at all. And I think it's your family who doesn't even say anything at all. They just show up. I got a brother. I probably talk to him about once a year, tops. But if I'm running from the cops, I could show up his house. I could get $11,000, a disguise, and a gun. And he wouldn't make a big deal out of it. I could show up to my brother's house with a dead body in the trunk, and he would be coming out with a shovel and lime going, "Oh, remember, we got to cut off the hands and get rid of the teeth. That's important."
Like,
he's not going to ask a lot of questions. He's going to be there for you.
You're like O.J. and Joel Rifkin all ripped into one there.
I don't know what you're talking about, but the point is this, Billy. Family is important. And your mom was there for you, right, during your latest there was a manhunt for you when you were drunk and running over cop cars.
My mom, my sister, they were all involved because it was a very high bail and
very
bond.
high sun.
Yeah, and all my great friends were like sitting out there, when they watch you get arrested.
Your drinking buddies.
Yeah,
yeah.
The great friends who were back on the bar stool now,
right.
who were out there watching you get arrested,
laughing.
and giggling.
Yeah, laughing, Billy. Good point.
They go, that could be me.
So you should be nicer to your mom too.
Oh, I am the perfect son to that.
No, the perfect son would have moved out by age 47. The perfect son would have a place of his own.
She needs someone to keep blowing out the candles at night, Ron. That's my job there.
All right, so we don't know what your announcement is. Billy Staples, big announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Billy.
Well, I just want to let people know what involves the signing of a contract.
Nice.
A new partnership. And a lot of money.
All right, great.
Okay, so.
I'm not really at the edge of my chair here. What exactly is it, Billy? Wait, are you a Free FM? Are you in the mornings with David Lee Roth?
No.
Are you going to be doing afternoon drive with the radio chick? What are you doing at Free FM?
There's nothing yet at Free FM I can announce.
Okay.
But what I am proud to announce that as of November 12th, this past Saturday, a contract was signed that little baby Staples got married.
Really? Your daughter got married?
My daughter got married Saturday, right. Ron.
How was that for you?
I'm happy for her.
Right.
But as a father, I am angry as piss.
Piss gets angry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
When you're pissed off, so I guess piss would be angry.
Right.
I'm so happy for my daughter. She married a wonderful boy. He's a nice kid. He's got a good job. They're both fairly young. But they're very happy together.
Yeah.
But fucking ex-wives.
What happened, Billy?
What happened?
Yeah.
I don't exist.
If only.
No, I'm serious. Fathers do not exist. If you're an ex-husband
right.
with an ex-wife who's running the show,
right.
You don't exist. Meanwhile, there's a second husband after me, and she's sitting there telling my daughter, my poor daughter's put in the middle of this. She gets to be the one who relays the news that my ex is calling the shots behind the scene. Well, I raised my daughter alone, so I should walk her down the aisle and give her away.
All right, so you didn't walk her down the aisle. That was your dream, right?
Yeah, when she was just born, she had a problem when she was born. She stopped breathing in the birth canal.
Yeah.
And so I was kicked out of the delivery room. And
when you were kicked out, was for being drunk and disorderly?
No, that didn't happen.
Did she peek her head out and see her dad waiting, put her head back in and stop breathing?
No, they didn't do the eyes thing with the silver.
Right.
Yeah, she couldn't.
So she passed out in the birth canal.
Yeah,
you
she
passed
stopped
out
breathing.
in the Erie Canal, and nobody knew what was going on that day.
No, And they kept me out for quite a while. And they
How
found
many beers before they let you back in?
It was a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, about the time it would take me to drink a couple. I mean, of course, I wasn't actually drinking during
Right.
my daughter's birth.
Sure.
Afterwards,
So since she was a little girl, you wanted to walk her down the aisle.
yeah.
And you thought you were going to walk her down the aisle.
Ronnie,
She's your only child.
She's my only child, and I actually told her this before the decision was made. When she was first born, the first thing I did was went in there and counted the fingers and the toes. Like a
4 and 6.
Yeah, on each.
Yeah.
And
she had 10, but not all together.
and all webbed.
Okay.
But no, and then I looked at her and I said to myself, someday this little girl is going to get married, and I am going to have the honor of walking her down the aisle saying, I give her away to the man that she loves.
That's one of the most beautiful things you've ever slurred.
I know.
So go ahead.
But-
So now, 20-some years later, right?
Yeah.
You're the end of
Oh, no, Earl.
the rainbow.
Oh, who did this?
Go ahead. What's the problem?
Oh, Daddy's little girl?
Did you dance with her?
No, I didn't. I did not dance with my daughter to Daddy's little girl. That was taken away from me. I didn't even get to walk her all the way to the altar. I got to walk her to the seats and told to sit down. While my ex-wife takes her and walks her up the stairs to the pastor.
Wow.
And I have to sit down like a regular guest, okay?
Like a strap hanger, like a ham and egger.
Yeah, and she goes up and get this. The pastor goes, who gives this child away? And my ex-wife sits there with big bravado, as loud as she can say, I do.
Uh-huh.
I.
Right.
What? What happened to me? Hello?
Were people looking at you like
Yeah.
like what's wrong with him?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's turns looking at me and you know what else? I wasn't allowed to wear a tuxedo.
All right, why not?
Because I wasn't allowed to look like the bridal party. I wasn't supposed to be included. I had to look like every other guest at the wedding.
All right, I've never been to a wedding where the father was there. Normally the father has to be dead for the mother to walk her down or somebody else, or to show up and say, no, I'm going to tell you, don't dress like you're related to us.
Yeah, I was totally excluded.
What did you wear, jailhouse orange?
No, I actually went and rented a black suit.
Really?
Yes.
You rented a suit?
Yeah,
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
I know you could rent a tux, but not a suit.
No, they actually looked into it for me. My ex looked into it for me, found out where I could go rent a plain black suit, and I did say, look,
What it cost?
$80.
Wow.
I'm not going to wear a black tie. I said, I'm not going to your wedding looking like a blues brother.
Right.
So I got to wear a different color tie. That was the concession. That's what I got. Okay? That's what I got. I got to walk from the limo to the edge of the chairs, sit my ass down in a seat like strangers. We got married outside in the park.
Right.
There were strangers there sitting in the chairs. I'm sitting next to some old woman who isn't even related or knows the family.
She just wanted to sit down and watch a wedding,
Yeah.
or she was just taking a load off?
Whatever. And I'm going like, who the hell are you?
Right.
And my ex-brother-in-law's on the other side. He's looking at me, and we're going, who's this woman?
Right.
This is like the bride's side.
Okay, so let me get this together.
Fathers get fucked.
All right, that might be the problem. Now, here's the thing. All right, you got to turn this song just down a little bit because it makes them upset. Because you wanted to dance with her, huh? Did anybody who had the first dance like that?
Oh, well, her mother.
What did they play? Dad's an asshole? Was there some kind of song like Dad's a drunken asshole that she danced to?
No. It was some kind of like Shania Twain, a wind beneath my wings kind of thing, you know.
I see.
And the whole thing is, it's like my ex told my daughter that, well, I raised you by myself, so I should give you away. I'm like, wait a second, excuse me. First off, I was there till you were 6.
Right.
And then I said,
that's why you got to walk her somewhat down the aisle.
yeah,
Then about
1/4 of her life, so I got to go 1/4 of the way. Is that
right.
it?
When about 25%, you're off in your rented suit. I'll watch it from the cheap seats.
Yeah. And meanwhile, my ex-wife, who I now call my wife,
I
not
think
even my
it's weird
ex-wife.
that I had better seats for you too than you had for your own daughter's wedding.
That's not funny. That's pathetic.
Hey, what's this XM commercial I'm watching? Everybody's at XM down in D.C. There's Snoop Dogg, Bowie, everybody but me. All right, go ahead, Billy.
Yeah. And I'm like, and then she remarried the guy she cheated with me on,
Right.
until my daughter was in her late teens.
Yeah.
You know.
So did he pick up? Did you have to hand him the baton?
He
Did
was not
walk
there anymore.
Right.
He's out of the picture.
All right.
They got divorced. But the thing is, she raised her alone.
So that you said that guy should have got a nice congratulations.
No, she didn't raise her alone.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I paid child support for 21 years.
Yeah.
And this is what I get. This is the return I get after I'm told in the beginning that I'm walking her all the way down the aisle.
Right.
Get to lift the veil, give her a kiss on the cheek, and she's going to turn to her mother, do the same. And her mother would say, I do. I said, look, I have no problem with that.
That's
fine.
That's all you wanted.
That's all I wanted.
You wanted your little part.
Yeah, but then within 6 days it changes.
Right.
Okay. Then we go to the rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
It changes again, where I'm walking all the way up to the altar, okay, in front of the pastor, and then the groom comes in, and I step out, and then the bride's mother steps out, and we both go sit down. Next morning, it's like, well, my mom talked to the pastor, and that's not right. Of course, the groom has to be next to the bride when she's given away. I'm like, no. You give her away to the groom,
right.
Then the groom comes into the picture.
What your daughter has to remember.
It's not my daughter first, Ron.
But let me just say that this is your day. Your daughters get married. That means it's the father's day, or ex-father, as your daughter calls you. It should have been about you, Billy.
Call me her ex-father.
You should have had a chance to do 15 minutes.
I should have at least have a chance to be up on the altar with her in front of the pastor and say, what's wrong with saying, for my ex-wife to say, who gives his bride away? We do. Is that so terrible? What is with women that they have to, like, totally just humiliate the man that they used to love and be married to?
Now, you didn't even have a chance to finish your drink before you had to sit down, right?
I didn't even get a chance to go to the bar.
Wow.
All right? It was just like, and Ronnie, let me tell you this. Not only walk to the edge of the chairs are only 5 deep.
Right.
So it's not like there was a long walk down the aisle.
Right, I
okay?
see.
It was maybe 15 feet.
Right.
Okay, then I had a seat in the front row.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, the stupid ushers had them backwards, so I sat on the groom's side by mistake. Then I looked and I had to go on the other side.
Oh, you were fucked up.
Well,
but the point was this. You had some drinks. You had a nice day.
No.
You saw your daughter from a distance, and that's beautiful.
Look, my daughter looked gorgeous. She honestly, she took my breath away. And I saw happiness in her eyes I never saw before.
Was that your daughter or the vodka that took your breath away?
There was no drinking on my daughter. Look.
Ooh, that's good. That's smooth. Oh, man, do I miss Fez. He would be loving this story so much. Fezzy, if you're up there and you can hear us, this stupid staple story is for you. This stupid staple story is for you.
First off, I don't consider it stupid. I consider it heartbreaking.
I know, but what I'm trying to say, Billy, is it doesn't happen to anyone else.
Ronnie, if you only have one daughter and one chance, I'm not having any more children.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right. The state stepped in.
Yeah. I'm too old to have a child now. I don't want to be
your womb is barren.
No, I don't want to be a grandfather when they graduate high school.
I know.
So this was my only chance. This was my daughter who I loved to death, who I never stopped, and I reminded her of all the fun things we did together.
And embarrassing things.
I told her it was humiliating. The first time I said, to ask me to sit down is humiliating and makes me feel like a second-class citizen. And she goes, I won't do that. Yeah. But then after the rehearsal, according to my ex, the pastor said this is what I should do. Yet, being the first one to appear at the ceremony, speaking with the pastor, I told him of the plans, and he goes, why are you doing that?
Right, like he was even embarrassed for you.
He didn't know anything about it, so it didn't come from him.
Did you remind your daughter that for her first show and tell, she brought one of your AA chips? I mean, you got to bring her back to some of the wonderful memories you've had.
Look, I was sober for a lot of those years that my daughter was growing up. I mean, the first few I wasn't.
Right.
I mean,
it was catch and catch can.
My alcoholism did not really take effect and kick in until my ex-wife kicked me out for sleeping with my landlord.
You slept with your landlord?
No, my ex-wife did.
Oh.
When I came back the next day, everything I owned was on the driveway.
Let's see, she had an affair, so she kicked you out?
Yeah. and made me the bad guy. I'm still the bad guy to this day, Ron.
It sounds like it the way you're treated.
I asked, why am I being punished? I said, I don't know whether you know the truth or not, but me leaving and your mother raising you on your own was not my choice.
This should have been the toast you made at the wedding.
No, please. The guy who made the toast didn't even mention my daughter. The best man.
Uh-huh.
Didn't even mention her.
That was the only wedding where he was the best man and you were the worst man.
Please, Ronnie,
And
do you
now
know
the
where I
worst
sat?
man-
Do you know where I sat in the reception?
Next to the bar?
No, not even close to the bar.
Am I doing all Fezzi's lines? Have you noticed? I'm playing the Fezzi part. Go ahead.
All the way in the corner next to an exit sign by an exit door. I could.
This is killing him.
Oh.
So
What? I mean,
you weren't sitting at the front table with
No.
all the family?
No, all the way in the back, in the furthest corner.
Next to the Mexican busboys?
Yeah, and I fell and I stumbled and I fell through the exit door.
Right.
And I'm like, this is where you sit, the father of the bride.
Right.
As far away from the dance floor. I couldn't even see my daughter and her husband sitting at the dais from where I was. I couldn't see. When they called me up and stuff, I was like, it took me like, where's the dad? Where's the dad? Where's the dad? And I'm like, I'm coming.
Right.
And you know when they introduce you?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to love this. Fez, if you're listening, turn down because you're going to laugh too hard.
Right.
They call us all out in order. First is the mother of the bride, and then they go the father of the bride. And I was like, okay, that's not a problem. We won't walk in together, and then everyone else. But the father and mother of the groom, who are not together and hate each other, came in together. Next thing you know, my ex leaves and grabs somebody else to walk in with her.
Right.
In
Not
front
you.
of me. And I said to her, what's the matter? You're too embarrassed to walk in with me as our daughter's father?
Right.
She just gives me a look.
Like you're drunk.
No, like, you don't even rate. So she has somebody else be introduced, and then...
As you?
No, I'm coming next. The mother of the bride and so, and then it's like the father of the bride, and I trip over the carpet.
Playing the role of Billy Staples today.
It's basically Billy was introduced like this. And here's a drunk in an $80 rental. It's Billy Staples.
I was not... The one thing I would not give the satisfaction of that side of the family
Is
was
paying for
showing
the
me
rental.
drunk.
Oh, you stayed sober?
Yes, I did. For the whole 5 hours.
Wow. So new chip, 5-hour chip. Way to go, big man.
Thank you. And of course, it's like when we tried to anything to do with the ceremony, with the reception, when they would talk to the maitre d' or something, I was immediately cut off by the brother. I was not allowed to talk to the maitre d' to see what was going on.
You couldn't order.
We got our food cold
I-
last. It was last. We got fed last.
All right, so you didn't have a good day.
No, and how many? You're an ex-father. You're an ex-husband.
You
are
just said
not-
ex-father.
You said it before. You
I
put it
know.
in my head.
Sorry.
You were an ex-husband. You were not an ex-father.
Right.
You should not be treated as such. I didn't leave. I never went anywhere and came back 20 years later and said, hey, all of a sudden now I want to be back in my daughter's life.
Right, you were there all the time, but just drunk.
No, I
It
was
was a
drunk for the
blackout.
first 3 years.
Yeah.
Then for 8 I was sober. And then it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and
Right.
forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I understand.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Jay, Billy Staples had the worst day ever. He was shunned by his daughter at her wedding.
More by my ex. I
And-
don't want to badmouth my daughter.
Here's Jay. Jay, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, I was at the wedding, actually, and everyone started chanting, bring back Voss.
Wow.
Bring back Voss.
Kind of the orange ball of failure. Hey, Rob. Rob, you're on Ron Fez. Yeah,
Hey, buddy.
yeah.
I heard that Rich Voss had to walk his daughter down the aisle after everybody booed him.
Ouch, a lot of
Oh,
boss
come on.
stuff.
You know what? This is the past.
Yeah.
This is real life,
Right.
okay? The Orange Ball of Failure, Rich Voss, all of that, over with, past history. This is me now. The new
This
and
is you.
improved.
The new Billy Staples, and your daughter should have recognized that.
Yes, and my ex should have stayed out of it. Like, giving away my daughter went to the highest bidder.
So, the big problem here, Billy, is that they didn't feel like you did enough over the
Yeah.
years.
And especially for the wedding.
Yeah.
I didn't contribute enough for the wedding being my present situation.
Oh, it's financially.
Yeah.
So, how much did you pay for the wedding?
Uh,
Because that's the father's job.
Yes, it is. And Not a big portion, Ronnie.
Yeah.
But everything I had.
Round it off. Where would you
No,
say?
I'm not. I'm not even going to go there.
Did the $80 suit tap you out?
Almost.
Okay.
Okay. But I did, I did everything I could. I borrowed money from people I still could borrow from. And
Bookies, loan sharks.
put it this way, when you give everything, what more can you give?
Right.
When you have, that's what I did. I gave everything I had, and I even went for a little gift at a surprise at the hotel afterwards.
What'd you get him,
for
an
them.
8-pack?
No.
Mini bar?
No.
What did you get him? I don't know, Billy. What did you
No,
get?
just special things for them.
Right.
That is intimate and that they would appreciate
Church key?
personally. Not a church key.
All right, here is.
God.
Here's.
Can't you feel, Ronnie?
Well, I'm on
when
your
your
side.
daughter gets married,
Right.
you know what? I hope and I pray you don't feel 1 ounce of the pain and humiliation that I'm going through.
But, Billy, I'm going to tell you the truth. When my daughter gets married, I will not think it's about me and what I think I deserve.
Look, I did not stop smiling the whole night, and I said this.
That's the booze.
No. It's like I'm not going to ruin my daughter's day.
That's nice of you.
I was like, I was polite to my ex-wife. I was polite to the whole family. I was polite to everybody. People I didn't even know. I'm smiling from ear to ear. I said, I deserve an Academy Award for this performance. Because this was like,
Because everybody thought you were sober.
No, because I was smiling through everything. The dancing with the mom, and I'm like, yeah, that's so beautiful.
All right, this is on the sent to us at Ron Fez at AOL.com. Instead of renting an $80 suit, why didn't Billy just show up in his One Cool Dad T-shirt? Billy, what was the problem with that?
First off, I didn't realize it said One Cool Dad the day I wore it. It was a Father's Day gift about 4 years ago.
I forgot you used to wear the fucking T-shirt.
I wore it once, and it was like the day after Father's Day. I was proud. This is what I had gotten for Father's Day, a T-shirt.
Right.
And I just thought it said, cool.
Right.
Or something. I didn't even realize in the side, in little letters, it said One Cool Dad. And then, of course, Fez noticed it on the air.
Right.
And brought it, and pictures were taken, and I'm like, now I'm associated forever with an orange shirt and a One Cool Dad shirt.
George, you're on Ron Fez. And now the $80 rental. That's also going to be you're known for. How are you,
Billy.
George?
I'm doing good. Hey, Billy, you still got a chance to walk your daughter down the aisle. I mean, look at her fucked up parents. She's going to be divorced and remarried in a couple of years.
That's not even funny.
You never
That's
know.
not even cool. I mean, you know
She
what?
could
You
end
want to
up-
make fun of me? You want to make fun of my ex? Fine.
Right.
No, nothing. My daughter had nothing to do with this. And I don't want to hear comments about her.
I agree. Your daughter has nothing to do with you.
No,
She proved
or
that
this
at the wedding.
conversation. It was not her call. She was put in a position that I felt so sorry for her.
How did they feel like you let them down over the years? Something had to happen. Were you late on the payments?
Of course so. Yeah, of course child support I was
Right.
like. But you know what? When push comes to shove, I paid every penny.
Right. Eventually,
I was
once
not
you're
a
pulled
deadbeat
into
dad.
court.
I didn't disappear. I'm not a deadbeat dad. There were times I was out of work.
Yeah.
When things were tight. Didn't exactly make a fortune at NEW. So.
Right.
But the thing is, everything was paid.
But you always had enough to get drunk on.
Well, there's priorities at a certain time.
But you got to understand. So you weren't with her. You weren't paying for anything. You didn't pay for the wedding. Somewhere along the line, they should go. They probably thought, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Why let that fat drunk walk down the aisle and act like he paid for it? Let's show the world that he and his $80 suit have got to sit back in the F section.
This was decided long before any amount of money, because my daughter only got engaged in July.
Mm-hmm.
So this was very quick. It was a very quick turnaround,
Right.
okay? And I made a point, as much as it killed me, I went up to everybody after the reception who helped out in doing what I should have done but weren't able to.
Mm-hmm. And what'd you do? Give him a shot?
Nope, I thanked them for
Like
doing
who?
the aunts and uncles and the groom's father.
So everybody chipped in for him?
Yeah.
That was nice.
And I went and I thanked them personally, and I was crying, after that, because I realized how terrible it was, because this was like my responsibility.
Right. So
But-
you were crying to them, going like this? I'm
Afterwards,
sorry.
no, I
Yeah.
did not let them see me cry. I went up to them like a man, and afterwards I cried like a bitch. But
All right, we have some of your speech, what you said to some of these people. This must have been late. This must have been a little later in the night when you were drunk.
Instead of bashing me, I mean, how many?
I'm with
I
you, Billy.
guarantee you, there are again with the ex-fathers. Jesus Christ, Ron, you got that in my head. Ex-husbands out there who've been screwed at weddings. They say now wedding etiquette is for the father to just what do you call it? Stepfathers meet halfway.
Relax, okay? Now, where did you read this? Is some kind of etiquette book?
Yeah.
All right, so they said the stepfather and the father who shared raising the child should meet halfway.
Yeah, but the stepfather's now out of the picture, and
Why,
I
what
didn't even
happened?
get halfway.
You didn't even get halfway with
No,
her?
I got to walk her a quarter of the way.
What base would that be considered?
No,
I wish we had Fez.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Billy, I don't know all the things.
Yes,
I've never been involved in a wedding.
Yeah, we're not talking about bases when we're talking about my child.
I'm sorry. I don't know how it works. Here is Rob. Rob, you're on with Ron and Fez and the ex-father, Billy Staples.
Yeah, I remember when Billy bruised his backbone falling down the stairs at Belmore train tracks. But I want to know where it fell out completely, because he's asking for sympathy. He's a big idiot.
Why? What should he have done?
I would have made him raised holy hell. I would have held on to half of my ground. It's my daughter.
Yeah, and what do you think I didn't raise holy hell? First off, you're walking a very thin ice there between upsetting your daughter totally before her wedding and being kicked out of it completely, or trying to get your point across in a non-confrontational way.
Right.
And just with examples and say, look, I never deserted you.
Didn't you say you're wearing your $80 rental suit? Did somebody put a note on that said biggest drunk in Long Island on your back? Because that's wrong.
I don't. Well, I'll have to wait to see the pictures, but I don't think so.
All right. This was sent to us at ronandfez@AOL.com. And by the way, thank you for all the get well stuff for Fez. He's really appreciating it. All the notes can go through ronandfez@AOL.com. It said, Billy, maybe this would make you feel better. You put a wig on Harry and recreate the wedding the way you wanted it.
And a dress?
Yes. Everything.
I would.
Bill, let me set this up for people who just listening now. Billy got drunk. He missed the first 21 years of his daughter's life.
No.
Now it's the day of the wedding. And he's had it in his mind. He wants to walk her down the aisle, give her away to this young man, who you say is a nice young man.
Very nice.
He's a fireman.
Yeah, I believe so.
Something like that. He's an EMT. Something
a
good young guy.
I barely know him. I only met him 3 times. So
sure. And he bailed you out each time, so he's got to be a good kid. He was there for you. And you had rented an $80 suit.
That was picked out for me.
That was picked out for you. Which, by the way, I had no idea Goodwill has a rental plan. Hey, way to go. Last thing you want to do is commit to a suit in this life.
The tux guy even goes, why are you wearing a suit?
They would not let you wear a tux.
He goes, it's the same price.
Right.
He goes, it's the same price.
But then you would have looked like you were part of the family.
Yeah.
And that would have brought embarrassment in.
Exactly. God forbid that I looked like I belonged or I was a part of this, a part of my daughter's life in any way, shape, or form. All I wanted to do was dance to Daddy's little girl, and I didn't get a chance to do it.
Was this the same suit that you rented for court last time you went there?
No. I had a suit for that.
Why don't you just get a funeral suit? It's all cut out in the back. It's just the front of it. A little cheaper. All right, so you did not get to walk her down the aisle. You didn't get to dance with her. You had to sit in the back. Like, let's face it, a mutt, Billy. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is like a stray dog you were. A drunk stray dog.
Think of this picture. Think of my ex-wife holding the marionette strings of my daughter, the puppet. Okay?
Right.
This is what was happening, Ronnie. Just think, as she's walking down the aisle, there's my ex-wife's big fat hand. And you know what? You want to hear this?
Yeah.
Okay, girls, listen to this. My ex-wife, who walked my daughter down the aisle on my daughter's day, where she's the center of attention, decided to wear a red dress with a halter top on, and she's not a thin woman.
Right.
We're talking sports
How
babe
could she
here.
be? She was married to you.
She's not a thin woman, and she wears bright red, and which is, according to the gay wedding guys page I read, is like the ultimate no-no next to wearing white on your daughter's wedding day.
Let me ask you this: did you try to get even by shitting yourself?
No,
because that would be wrong.
No,
I know that's one of the ways that you try to get even with them.
I'm living this all over again.
I know you are. I'm as you see me, I'm as raging upset as you are, Billy. Here's Harry. Harry, You're on Ron Fez.
I got two things for Billy. First of all, you got what you deserve for going raging klepto on our troops and not supporting them.
Yeah.
One has nothing to do with the other, and I was right there.
And the other thing is, when your daughter was conceived, you got drunk and you missed that too. The FedEx guy's your daughter's real father.
No, my ex-wife was vacuuming at the time.
Oh. I thought she was having an abortion?
No.
I don't understand.
She happened to be vacuuming. And
Look at that. They're making drinks on TV, Billy. Watch them have to make the perfect martini.
Change the channel.
Does that drive you crazy?
Change the channel.
It's like a kid toucher watching Jean Benet dancing.
Make any occasion special with... oh, God, it's a catering hall.
Hey, Rob, you're on Ron Fez.
Yeah, I wanted to know, did the gift for back in the hotel room, was that a Liberator you got her, Billy? Ramon, get this man a ball gag!
All right, so no one's really on your side, but that doesn't matter. You feel like you're right.
Yeah, I know in my heart I'm right, but you know what? I didn't upset my daughter. I didn't make a big deal of it with her.
Right.
I said what I said to my ex at the wedding, like, why won't you walk in with me? She didn't say a word. She walked right past me. I'm smiling. She's got the look of like she's taking a dump on her face when she's near me.
Uh-huh. Who's taking a dump on whose face?
I don't know. It's just an expression.
I'm very confused. It's a crazy expression. What does he mean, Earl?
He's just talking out of his head.
No, it's
He's
like
a
she's
little
taking
angry.
it, like she's smelling her own shit when she's near me.
I'm confused. I'm really confused.
She's got such a vendetta against me for being a good father.
You were a good father?
Yes, I was. I didn't disappear when she married the piece of shit scum that she did. I didn't disappear.
Does that mean you?
No, the second guy.
Okay. So you stayed with her while she was married to the other guy?
I stayed with my daughter. I still had visited. You know, I was part of every other weekend. You know, I was a part-time dad. You know, everyone says that the kids don't come with books. Well, let me tell you, kids don't come with part-time dad books either. It's not an easy situation to be thrown in.
All right, but you see, you're just saying you're a part-time dad, and they didn't feel like you were an enough part of her life. I'm just playing devil's advocate to be there. And the thing is, you got invited to the wedding that most dads would pay for. You got a free meal. You got some capon, I presume, a little chicken and cheese. You had a few drinks. You danced funky chicken like the old days. You had a good time. You got a chance to thank all the people who paid for the wedding. It was a good day for you all in all.
You seem to be minimizing it in some context, Ron.
What have I done wrong? Help me.
No, just the fact that I was there to see my daughter get married, to be a part of the ceremony, and to be a part of the reception.
Yeah.
Not a guest like the cousin from Iowa. Nothing against Iowa, okay?
No, it seems like you hate Iowa.
That's pretty much the way I got treated. I got treated as like the bum in the park, walking by and seeing what was going on.
All right, here is Tonka. Tonka, you're on Ron Fez.
Yeah, Billy, on her wedding day, how many months pregnant was your daughter?
Was she showing?
She was a good girl.
Good. So what do you want to happen from this point on? What's going to make you happy?
I want the guys out there not to get the ex-husbands to learn from this, you know, and the women. You
to not drink so much when the kid's growing
nothing. Well, okay, yeah. You know, I don't recommend the first couple of years, but then again, I don't recommend having your wife cheat on you and throwing you into the depths of alcoholism and drug abuse.
Wait a minute. Who brought up the cheating? Wasn't there wife swapping at first?
No.
I thought there was.
That came afterwards.
After she cheated, there was wife swapping.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there watching my ex do my landlord, and I'm sitting. The two of us are staring at each other. The girlfriend of the landlord are staring at each other like.
This should have been your toast. You should have brought this up.
Since when does the father of the bride make a toast?
Oh, I don't know. Since when does the father of the bride get drunk, shit himself, start crying that nobody can help you?
This is... Wait, people are getting the wrong picture.
And you never, ever got me 1 ounce of slack.
Here's Chip. Chip, you're on Ron Fez. Chip, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
What can we do for you?
Billy, I'm very disappointed with you. This is Billy's sponsor, by the way.
Well, first of all, Billy's only sponsor right now is Heineken. And they're sponsoring his tour. All right, Billy, we're going to take a break. When I come back, I get some friends here, the sports chicks from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They're women. They've all got exes. They know about loser exes, and they would say how they...
Excuse me. Take not loser exes.
Not losers exes, but here's the thing. You didn't pay for the wedding. You showed up in an $80 rental suit.
Not by choice.
Ill-fitting.
Not by choice.
I assume. You had a fucking clip-on tie. You stunk. You stunk like old granddad. I'm sure it looked like a cop's funeral, an Irish cop's funeral, the way you were acting.
The way I was acting was sitting at a table in the corner, trapped.
All right, wait, I just want to point out, before all you Irish cop gets upset, don't act like I've never been to an Irish cop funeral and see how drunk the other cops are. They're drinking out of their suit jackets like nobody sees them. There's a bottle in there. Go ahead, Billy.
I would welcome another woman's opinion regarding this, especially what my ex-wife did. The treatment that I got...
Let me ask you. When your landlord slept with your ex... Listen to me. When your landlord slept with your wife, he knock a little something off the rent, take care of you a little bit?
No. The only thing he knocked out was me. To the curb with all my stuff. I come back the next day. Everything I own, even pictures
right,
that had me in it with the three of us.
Three-way?
No, the wife and my daughter.
All right, Billy, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get some advice for you, okay?
Sure.
Yeah. We're going to get some advice for you.
Some helpful advice.
You got to understand, everybody here is on your side. Everybody's with you 100%.
I'd be a little curious to see, I hate to see if people were against me here.
Yeah. Nobody's against you. Why would anybody be against you?
I mean, this is a common thread for anybody who has children.
Every alcoholic understands what you're going through right now.
Not every alcoholic, every father.
Some drug addicts know.
Fathers. Fathers. That's it.
What is the problem? You're saying you represent the normal dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
What, other dads don't have issues or situations?
I don't know, Billy.
Or problems?
Every time I've ever been to a wedding, the father gets to walk that aisle like Ric Flair, styling and profiling.
Now, they say that all traditions now are being thrown out the window. Brides walk themselves down the aisle.
Right, well, let's just play a song that your wife sings, okay?
My wife sings?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You got it. Go ahead, hit it. It's the remix.
I don't want it. Whatever it is, it's tainted. Whatever